Good evening, everyone. This is Sharon Castilli, the chair of the Finance Committee of the Town of Fairfield RTM. This is our committee meeting for June 20th, 2022, and I'm calling the meeting to order at 9 p.m. I'll do the roll call. John Kuhn, we know is absent, and Elizabeth Zezima, we know is absent. I'm present. Joe Siebert.
Present.
Ed Bateson.
Here.
Melissa Longo.
Here.
Amy Ruggiero.
Here.
Bill Gerber.
Here.
Great. Thank you. So I have the agenda. I think, let's see. So 3 is not a voting item. 4 is not a voting item. Item 5 is the Neighborhood Assistance Act. So that has to be approved. And do we have a motion to approve item 5?
So moved.
And then do I have a second?
Amy Ruggiero.
Thanks, Amy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. I have to apologize. I have a little echo on my line, so if I have trouble, just correct me. Okay, so item 6 is the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $592,000. So we're expecting the grant will be $525,640, and then we'll have program income of $66,360. Do I have a motion to approve?
Joe.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Bill.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay. Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item 7 is the appropriation of $3,088,000 related to the construction of the Berman pumping station, and an increase of the appropriation to $10,007,765, and to also accept a state grant in the amount of $400,000. Do I have a motion to approve?
Amy Ruggiero, so moved.
Thanks, Amy. Do I have a second?
Melissa Longo.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
May I just reiterate what I said during the meeting? Having listened to
Sure.
some of the discussion. Yes, some of the discussion at the Board of Finance meeting, that this area, it sounds like 4 to 5 years from now, this is going to be a much bigger issue. The contamination was brought in during the 40s and 50s, according to Bill Hurley, and basically wetlands were filled with contaminated soil. And if they do any excavation, it's going to, sort of increase the costs of the rehabilitation of this thing, of the wastewater treatment plant by a large, most likely. So, we just should be prepared for it.
Yeah, I'll follow up on, it's Ed Bateson. I'll follow up on Bill's thoughts. I did watch the Board of Finance meeting also, and Bill, to your point, I don't know how to say this. I'm not as concerned about the dollar amounts of contamination, because I know when we did the rehab of this place in the 2000, and now with the hardening, and we basically set up a perimeter of where this facility is going to be. And I think when we did the last rehab, we put in those big clarifying tanks across the street. We hit contamination there. We did a lot of treatment down there then. I'm kind of optimistic that if we don't go outside the footprint of the current facility, we should be good. Now, if they want to expand and go beyond the current footprint, yeah, we might have a problem. But as long as we're stay within the boundaries of where we are, I know we did a lot of PCB removal in the early 2000s, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're hitting with those steel panels they're putting in the ground now. So if we don't expand the footprint, I feel pretty good that we should be somewhat good. That's
right,
just me.
Right. And also, can you just remind people on about the steel? So because I had forgotten about it, but when they hit soil, so they put in how deep they put in a steel barrier that should be good for forever, right? For a long time. And
that's what they said.
They brought in clean fill, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's the major reason for the increase in cost of the project, right?
That's what I recall from all this, that, they were going to build the berm. That wasn't enough. Then they had to put in the pilings, the steel sheets going down. And once they did that, of course, they had to dig and see what was down there. And that's when they were hitting it.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. So if I captured that discussion correctly, I think you guys were both in agreement that if we stay within the current footprint, we should be okay. Did I understand that correctly?
That's my personal feeling. I think the dollar amounts will be manageable. But, I mean, if, you never know what the engineers come up with.
Right.
And it's worth noting that, the Board of Finance, there was, Bill Hurley was not able to answer that question. There was a fair amount of skepticism about, the contingency, and just making sure that, everyone's aware that it should be significantly greater than normal because of this. But that was their opinion, and so I was sort of stating what was discussed.
Gotcha.
Great. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Okay, item 8 is the community development block grant for. Oh man, I have an echo. I'm really sorry. So item 8 is the community development block grant disaster recovery program in the amount of $400,000, and 100% of the funds will be reimbursed by the Connecticut Department of Housing. Do I have a motion to approve?
Bill Gerber.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Amy Ruggiero.
Thank you, Amy. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item 9 is the resolution by the Board of Finance for the Director of Health, who requests an increase in estimated revenue for state grants in the amount of $252,165.11, which will cover our costs due to COVID-19. And we are expecting. I'm really having a hard time with the echo, so I apologize. So this is Department of Health revenue for state grants due to COVID-19. Do I have a motion to approve?
Jen.
Is that Ed? I'm sorry.
Joe.
Oh, Joe, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Do I have a second?
Bill.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item 10 is the $50,000 to cover the continued costs for the Fairfield Medical Reserve Corps. Do I have a motion to approve?
Bill.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Amy.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item 11, which is the bond resolution for the $50 million refund if we decide to, refinance these bonds. Do I have a motion to approve?
Joe approves.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Bill.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I would like to say something. I'm glad Ed asked the questions that he did. Normally this doesn't make a ton of sense to be talking about this now, but I guess given who we have on the Board of Finance, I feel pretty comfortable they're not going to do something that's NPV negative. So it's just giving them authorization, but it's hard to see them actually using this. So.
Yeah. Well, even a week ago, it would have been a different outcome.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
No harm, though.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item 12 is a non-voting item. Item 13 is a non-voting item. Item 14, which is on the supplemental agenda for those of you following along at home.
Is that supplemental one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the 300,000 with WPCA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WPC,
Yep. So,
WPCA. Got it. Thank you.
yes. Yep. Yeah. So item 14, which is the $300,000 for the WPCA, and this is the engineering study. Do I have a motion to approve?
Amy Ruggiero.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second Joe.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any discussion? So I had a question for Ed. Ed, is this the same sort of thing, like where they're gonna, like they might find contamination? Like have we done prior work?
No, this is on Fairfield Beach Road. I don't think this is. I wouldn't worry about this for contamination wise. That's right in like
Okay.
I'm going to say the 1700 block of Fairfield Beach Road. If you're heading down to the point on your right hand side, you'll just see a brick building, and there's a big plaque on it, and that's the pump station that services Fairfield Beach Road.
Okay.
And Pine Creek in that area. So.
Okay, got it. I'm going to look for it next time I ride my bike down there. I haven't seen it, so I didn't know it was there. Okay, great. Is there any other discussion?
I mean, I since I've listened to the Board of Finance meeting, and Ed did too, Ed, feel free to chime in, but there was one thing of interest that wasn't a voting item. It was just an update on the regional dispatch center, and it's been sort of delayed a bit. So there may be some impact on the budget. I guess they're expecting fire to join up from Westport and New Canaan. I guess New Canaan already had an agreement with Westport. So really Westport and New Canaan are joining together. That should be up mid-July. But Westport Police has been delayed, probably a few months. So. And the reason for the delay was they weren't up and ready and trained on the new their new software system that they needed. They used a different one. They've got to train up on the new regional one, which is like next gen, I guess. And that is it. Those are the main things.
Okay, if you don't mind, we're just gonna move that comment to new business because we have to close out the discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Let's just close out item 14 and then I'll add that to new business. Okay.
Yep.
So, all those in favor. Oh wait, is there any other discussion on item 14? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? Okay, the item passes unanimously. And so are there any other items? And so, Bill, if you don't mind, I'm just going to add your comment about the dispatch center under other business.
Yep.
So there are no other. Sub 2 was Marcy. That's not up for vote, right? Okay.
Right. Nope.
Just checking. Thank you.
So, Bill, getting back to what you said. So what's the timeline?
So the timeline is mid-July to get Westport Fire on board is what they're targeting. And it takes, I guess they were saying 30 to 45 days to onboard Westport Police after the training happens. And the Westport training is a little bit beyond our guys' control. So it's a little bit up in the air, but they're hoping sometime. It sounds like early fall. Hopefully, we'll get Westport Police. And their hope is that over time they're going to bring in smaller towns that won't add to the requirement. Like Westport, New Canaan, I guess we take some of their people, but over time there should be economies of scale, and they will be able to bring smaller towns in and offer service to them without putting much cost on. That's the idea, so we'll just keep an eye on it.
Cool. Okay, great. Is there any other new business? Okay, hearing none, could I have a motion to adjourn?
Go.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Amy, Melissa.
I'm going to give Melissa one, but I was waiting for Amy.
That was the most popular.
You put jump in especially for that one. That's my favorite.
I'm wishing you all a great week, and then we're all going to vote to adjourn. All right, please.
Thank you.
Aye.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.